Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, I'm showing you how to poach the perfect egg with all my tips and tricks. So let's get started. First off, grab a large, wide saucepan, and we're gonna fill it with 2 inches of water. I'm gonna place this over medium-high heat and bring it to a boil. Poached eggs are one of my all-time favorite ways to enjoy eggs. They're great for eggs Benedict, eggs Florentine. They're lovely in salads and just like, they're so good. That gooey yolk and perfect white, it's hard to beat. But people get intimidated by them and think, oh my gosh, I can't do this, it's too much. And you can, it's really easy, so let me show you how. While my water comes to a boil, I have to go over some of the hacks you see online. First off, as long as you're using fresh eggs and your water is gently boiling, not violently coming like a rolling boil, you're gonna be okay. Fresh eggs are like, they're more coagulated and thicker. Older eggs, like you'd use for a French macaron, are more watery. They're starting to break apart and the albumin is very thin. So if you try and poach them, it becomes a nightmare. A fresh egg will really hold together. In this recipe, we're gonna use a tablespoon of vinegar, but it's really optional. Vinegar will coagulate an egg white and almost cook it with acid. Some of the hacks I've seen online are to use like 1 part vinegar and 1 part water, pop your eggs into there, and then you poach them. Does that work? Your eggs will be beautiful, like the most gorgeous poached eggs you've ever seen. And they will taste like pure vinegar, which I find horrifying. Like if you've ever been to a restaurant and had poached eggs and they taste vinegary, they're using that hack and I do not like it myself. If you love vinegar, have at it. I will show you 2 that I think are interesting. One is using a ladle to like par poach the eggs. We're gonna try that out. And one is using a sieve to kind of get rid of some of the super watery egg white that'll fly away. So I'll show you how those work. But in the meantime, just crack an egg, transfer it to a small bowl or ramekin, just like that. My water came to a boil. However, all those bubbles bubbling around will push your egg here and there and distort the shape. So reduce heat until it is just barely simmering. Keep going. Everyone's stove is different too. This one runs so hot. If you're using induction, it's fairly foolproof, and electric, you kind of have to tinker with it. All right, well, I took it down to the lowest setting possible on the smallest burner I have, and that's where we're at. Right now, it's time to stir in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I think of this as optional, but it's not gonna really affect the taste that much of the egg. Use a spoon and create a swirling vortex of water. And now we're gonna carefully plop the egg right into the center. And the water will wrap the egg white around itself and give you a more cohesive piece of egg as opposed to little flyaways. Leave your egg to cook for 3 minutes or until the egg white's opaque, it's firmer, and it gives a bit when it's gently pressed with a spoon. You'll know what an egg looks like, and most of us are poaching an egg so we can have that beautiful like runny yolk. You don't want to overcook this to the point where the yolk is firm. After 3 minutes, let's take it out and there. It looks nice and opaque. So with the spoon, I'm seeing it's firmer, but it yields in the middle. This is ready to go. And I love the way it held together, the traditional way. Now let's try some hacks. By the way, if you love delicious things and you haven't hit that sub button, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. There's 2 new recipes every single week and always something delicious on the horizon. Method number 2, grab a ladle, pop your egg into there carefully. And this is kind of a way of coddling your eggs. When you coddle an egg, you have a form and it's baked in that form so it holds its shape. Here, we're gonna dip this into the water for about 30 seconds so the egg begins to firm up a bit until it's totally submerged. Once the ladle's fully submerged, hold it there for a bit so it begins to cook, and then you should be able to release your egg into the water. I hate this method already. The traditional way, the vortex held it all together and it was like a nice little poached egg. Here, even though it's contained in the ladle, the second the water comes in, it's spraying all over the place. There's probably like a nice side to this so you could turn it upside down, but there's so many flyaways, it's not worth it taking it out. This is a mediocre poached egg. I would not say it's a hack, so next. For the 3rd hack, I'm just cracking the egg into a small sieve. The theory on this is that there's 2 parts to the egg white. The thick little sac and all the runny albumin as well. So here, all the runny stuff goes through the sieve and you'll just be left with the good stuff. So let's try it out. Give your water a swirl again. Dump the egg out into the center. And cook it as normal. This method I really like. The egg looks picture perfect and you're still using the traditional way to cook it. But there is a downside. That's all runny egg white. So depending on how old your eggs are, you might have a very small poached egg and you're losing a lot of the egg itself. So if you want it to look great, this is wonderful. But if your eggs are a bit older, you might have like a tiny little poached egg and it's gonna look weird. You have to poach multiple eggs. Plop your egg onto a paper towel lined plate. You wanna drain all that vinegar water off and have just delicious egg left over. And now we're good to go. I like mine on an English muffin with some asparagus. That egg is perfectly done. That yolk is just silky smooth amazingness. I hope you had a chance to try this technique, and if you like this video, check out my breakfast playlist.